What's up, everyone? My name is Jankmo, or you can call me Jank, and this is Super Meat Boy Dark Ending. My couch want to introduce himself?
Thank you, Jank. Hi, everyone. My name is Sandshark. I am a fellow Super Meat Boy speedrunner, and I will be assisting in commentary for Jankmo's fantastic run of Super Meat Boy Dark Ending. So we're not just going to complete the any percent route, we're going to complete an additional 85 dark levels that are going to be absolutely chaotic. But Jank is an incredible speedrunner. He's going to blitz through all of them, and I'm going to be sitting here in awe, trying to make words come out of my mouth to describe what's happening, while also considering how amazing he's going. But anyway, enough about me. Jank, I think we're going to be ready to dive straight in, and let's get a countdown going.
All right, so yeah, let's start the run in 3, 2, 1, go. So as Sandshark said at the start here, this is Super Meat Boy Dark Ending. The goal of this category is actually to get to the true ending of the game. There's two different endings of the game. There's a light world ending and a dark world ending. And the dark world ending is kind of the true ending of the game.
Yeah, so basically, when you get to the 80% ending, it kind of cuts the cutscene. It says, the end, play the dark ending to find more. But you have to actually get the dark ending. You need to complete, as I said, 85 levels that are in, I guess, a dark version of the world. And that basically the dark world makes each level basically the same kind of format. Oh, tough there. Basically the same kind of level, but just cranks the difficulty up to 11. So there's more saws, there's more things you need to avoid. And the further you go into the world, the more chaotic things get. And especially with the, I guess from hell onwards is where things start getting really crazy. Forest is pretty tame. Jank's just very quickly cruising his way through it.
Yep, Forest is pretty much Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I heard that there was going to be some donations for every death that happens during this run.
I'll have to check the death total at the end, and depending on how many deaths there are, I'll either divide, multiply, or match it to reflect the amount of deaths that happen. We'll see at the end, and I'll then give my determination and then donate.
Yep. So I've completed the first 18 levels of Light Forest. You only need to complete 17 to unlock the chapter boss. We're going to play some additional ones so we can do some easier and shorter dark levels.
Because there's definitely different routes depending on, I guess, how confident you are with certain, I guess, levels. Some are slower, but it is safer. So often, first one you see here, and I'm a little bit delayed, so my commentary might be a bit delayed. So he just jumped through a saw, I believe, in 1.5 in the dark version of Holy Mountain. It's a very tight jump there, but it's a good time save there. But not everyone goes for it. I know I don't, because it's just very precise.
Yep. This is kind of a sort of risky route, actually. You might notice that I am pausing randomly, and that's to activate a glitch called auto jump. That auto fires the jump button that makes it jump on every frame.
So that would allow us to get jumps that we wouldn't normally be able to do, because it jumps on every frame you touch something. Basically allows us to do tricks that people wouldn't normally be able to do doing casually. So it's a very good, I guess, reassuring backup. And I've just read chat. I am not going to multiply the deaths by 0. That would be a pretty dog move. I'm not going to do that. But anyway, yeah, it's absolutely blitzing through this one. So as you can see in the Dark Forest, it's just so many different obstacles that are added. So a bunch of saws moving around, a lot tighter jumps. In night game, you got to go through the whole thing in reverse, while there's a filter applied where you can only see the silhouettes. It makes things a bit harder to navigate. Just catching the top of that buzzsaw there. But yeah, Jank's doing a very good job making their way through this. And so it is 18 you got to complete fully here, right?
Yep.
Okay. Looks like he's going now to the boss, which is Little Slugger.
Yep, so this is basically just like a 30-second auto-scroller. So we got time for maybe a donation or two.
No donations quite yet, but thank you once again, Jankmo and Sandshark, for coming by and making this happen, for submitting the run. I really appreciate it. And thank you everyone who's watching this stream right now. We couldn't do this without you. We're trying to remove as much trash from the ocean as we can, so make sure to go hit that exclamation point, donate $1 to remove 1 pound of trash from the ocean.
definitely good cause. And likewise, thank you for holding the marathon, Samith. I'm very happy to be a part of this. But next one we're on to is the hospital. So what levels do you go through here, Jankmo?
1 to 13, then 16 to 19.
Okay. So basically for each world, the mechanics in each world are kind of self-contained. So every world you do, you need to kind of adapt to each kind of mechanics, like similar as required. So for example, in hospital, there's like fans and lasers that you wouldn't normally see, and that's a nice little jump there. He did just the right time to blast up and get to the second fan without having to jump off the wall. There's a lot of tiny optimizations in Super Meat Boy that basically added up do a lot of time saving. It's very precise and a lot to remember. And I personally find, I just missing to jump at the edge there. And you have such little room to work with, so any little miscalculation will send you back to the beginning of the level. And the Dark World, as I mentioned before, it just how precise you have to be, it just turned up to 11, as I said earlier. So very tough, but very rewarding category I find this one is. But yeah, hospital here is usually pretty cruisy, but it's where things start to get a little bit more difficult.
Yep, so this level introduces keys. There's going to be a lot of levels where you have to go to the end and get the key and then run back, so it's some backtracking.
Yeah, the collapsing key blocks can be a bit frustrating at times, especially in the Dark World. Once you get the key, it starts basically unlocking a chain of unlockable blocks, and usually you'll need to erase that or use that to unlock bandage scroll, as you see right there.
Okay, skipping, exiting out of 13, hardest part of the run complete.
Oh, very nice.
214 and 215 are actually part of the any percent route, but we don't do them in dark ending because their dark versions are very long.
Yeah, there's naturally going to be some levels that are, I guess, harder than others and longer than others, and it just makes more sense to skip them. Good auto jump up on Singe, I believe. Jump up there and get in the auto jump to avoid one of the cycles.
Yep. That also uses something called a storage jump, so I purposely ended 216 on the wall, so I could actually, the game actually treats the state that Meat Boy was in, or like it considers him in the same state for 1 frame, so I like kind of just did a wall jump off the air at the start of 217.
So now we've completed all that, back to the beginning, and now ready for the dark levels. Here we are. So on 2-1X backtrack, you gotta go backwards. Well, it looks like there's a few more spikes around as well, so... And bandage girl. Oh, yes, it
kind of fell victim to a half block there. Blocks that are not just like full blocks act kind of weird, and I kind of got my momentum cut.
Yeah, Pink Eye Falls is pretty easy. It's very similar to the first one. Buzz Cut, they basically had a couple extra stalls you need to dodge, so instead of avoiding one at the bottom, a few little layers, you gotta avoid the bottom and the top, so you just need to be precise with your jumps here. Blown is also pretty similar, actually. Almost... Oh, just catching the edge of the saw blade there. Not saw blade, fan blade. There's a lot of things that can kill you, even fan blades. But yeah, I just feel like... I think the Hospital Dark World's the first one where you think, okay, wow, this is pretty tough.
Yeah.
I know when I first played this game casually, it was... Forest, I thought, okay, this isn't too bad. When I went into the Dark World for Hospital, I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be here a while.
Yeah, Dark Hospital is actually pretty challenging. Even, like, I still have trouble with it.
Yeah, it's just, there's so many mechanics here that just alter how you move in very narrow passageways here. On this one over here, taking advantage of a hole in the side of the, where the fan's blowing to jump up to Vantage Girl quicker. Over here, though, it does a clip around the side and wraps around the side to get to Vantage Girl quickly. A lot of blind work here. That was very tough. So you can't actually see our Meat Boy here, so you gotta get it by feel.
Yeah, pretty cool out-of-bounds skip on 27X.
Yep. 2-9 Centipede. This one's actually pretty easy because they all kind of go to one side. Oh, just gotta get that jump.
If you want to do a fast cycle, it's actually kind of tricky. Pretty precise jumps around that platform at the start.
Yeah, I can definitely imagine.
Ooh.
But it's funny how like the consistency between like the difficulty of the worlds, like some of the levels. Sorry. Oh, I saw it just then. Yeah, unfortunately missed that just a little bit. The timing of those collapsing blocks can be tricky to kind of get down. You got to auto jump off one to get to the end.
Yeah, I just missed the auto jump. Happens.
But I find that the difficulty of, I guess, some of the Dark World levels can vary a bit. So some are naturally just easier than others, but thanks to exploits and auto jumps we can do. But others sometimes feel a little bit inconsistent. But overall, it's just, you know, infinitely more difficult, I find. All right, we're now up to the last 4. It looks like, starting with PSY. So that one isn't too bad as well. There's a lot of like little jumps they can do to avoid a bunch of the lasers, and this one as well. Just gotta jump at the right time to get the cycle of lasers correct, so you can jump through them. It's just all about timing here.
Yep. Fun fact about 218X. I actually don't remember how that word's pronounced, but one person from my chat taught me how to pronounce it. I think it's electrolysis.
Came here to play games. Don't learn how to pronounce things.
On to the second boss. On to the second boss, Chad. There's a skip I'm going to try to go for here.
Yeah, this one's pretty precise. You got to jump before it reaches. You basically see that part. And do an auto jump to jump off the disappearing key blocks. Gets it, nice. And you need to collect the last key here, just to see here the splash sound from Chad, and that saves that basically skips the waiting cycle and saves about 8 to 10 seconds, I think.
I think so.
Again, yeah, very clean playing there in hospital. Now we're down to the factory. Don't get salty here, Jankmo.
Oh my god, I'm mad.
You're mad. Salt factory. I had to make that pun.
That's a pretty satisfactory pun, if I do say so myself.
Satisfactory. But anyway, yeah, so they get to the salt factory. As you know, salt dries out meat, so if Meat Boy touches the salt, he will instantly die, and there's a lot of salt in the factory here. So basically, avoid the salt.
Yep.
Again, there's quite a few cool movement skips here. I think Salt Factory is one of my favorite worlds to run, both dark and light. Another auto jump here to basically get a kickstart in the level to get the cycles just right. And these conveyor belts as well, their mechanics are pretty interesting. You need to, basically, if you jump into a conveyor belt, you actually gain a lot of speed as opposed to just running into it. So you'll see Jank here jumping into these conveyor belts certain times. It's going to get the skip. Doesn't get the skip on the second conveyor belt here.
I tried to go for an interesting strat that lets you slide up that conveyor belt, but it's a frame-perfect trick.
It is, yeah. Oh, yeah, the missiles here as well. So Salt Factory introduces some missiles. And they home in on you and follow you in like a very distinct arc, so you need to be careful with, I guess, when they fire at you, how you avoid them. But as long as you have enough speed, you can usually correct yourself enough to avoid them. Over here, Jank is jumping just as the blocks are collapsing in 311 to get some speed going down to the next section. Some tight jumps here in this one as well. Alright, exiting out. No.
Yep. We're skipping 12 and 13, which are pretty long auto-scrollers, both in the light world and the dark world.
Yeah, definitely saves. It definitely pays to learn the skips in the other levels as opposed to do the auto-scroller ones. Vertigo here, I was able to get that skip there where you can hop up all to one side. Unfortunately, it's a tough one to do. It saves about half a second. I'm not able to get that one there. Oh, mono skip, let's go. So mono skip's a bit hard to explain in a little bit of time, but you can auto jump off a platform in the corner here to avoid having to wait for the lift, and he gets it. Very nice.
There's another skip on this level.
Using the auto jump to climb up the collapsing walls to avoid the missiles being fired, and the Grundle. Let's see how we go on the Grundle. Gets it. Very good. Oh, almost falls through. That's okay. Able to recover.
Almost got the bandage.
Almost got it. We don't need the bandage, but we almost got it. Okay, so that is all the light worlds. Sorry, I keep saying world, I mean levels. I do apologize. Now we're heading to the dark levels of the factory here. Not only having probably one of my favorite bits of OST in the game, it very rage-inducing, this one, so it's kind of like a balance of I love the music, but I hate the world. So as you can see here, already a lot more assault than what we're used to, a more frequently firing saw, more collapsing walls, and it just keeps stacking. There's also a bunch of really cool, like, little optimizations and skips here, especially in some of the later levels here in Factory. But as you see with the more saws here, you need to be a lot more precise with how you jump. Oh. This one in particular as well, the bottom ground's been replaced with collapsing blocks, so you need to kind of preserve where you jump, so you make sure you have enough to jump back on. Okay, 3-4 assemble. Again, using an auto jump there to get through and I guess get the right cycle timing, so you can get there quickly. If you miss a cycle, basically the time waiting around is time you lose during the speed run, but luckily there's quite a few backup strategies. Again, jumping into the conveyor belt at just the right time to avoid half the level, and then get the top key, and then able to drop down all the way to the bottom, and then get a huge zip up to the top here and tag Bandage Grill. Nice work.
Yeah, Dark Salt is where the run actually starts getting quite difficult. But I'd agree, a lot of the Dark World tracks are bangers.
They definitely are. Okay, so Pluck is a really cool one. You can tag the key while you're going up by just holding left for a little bit. And then as a result, you can also get on the conveyor belt just the right time to get the key pressed on top of one of the key blocks instead of collapsing the key block and getting it while it's falling down. So that definitely is a lot easier than doing the level normally. Goliath's an interesting one. Some of the sections of walls have been replaced with salt, so you can't jump on them. So you need to do a bit more jumping, also while avoiding the missiles here. And again, very annoying, but Jank, being the legend that he is able to do it all. 310 Exploder, and again, very similar to the previous one, but you gotta backtrack while avoiding the missiles. You need to get a key and go back up the top. So it's important that you avoid the missiles as they're looking down on you, so you gotta jump at just the right time to avoid them. Now the Salt Man usually takes a couple tries, but you can do a very precise jump, so you don't have to follow the, I guess, line of stalls there and go back. It's a very tight jump. It actually looks easier than you might think it is, but it's a very tight jump, but it saves so much time, so it's definitely worth learning how to do that skip if you choose to run Dark Ending.
I've never seen that level. I've never seen like the rest of that level, so.
I think I saw it once when I was casual, playing the game casually, but that was a long time ago. Okay, now the Chaser here is also an interesting one, it looks like. And the lifts are really hard to jump off of as well, so you gotta get like just a precise jump here.
Yeah, moving platforms don't behave very well sometimes.
Jump here, because you need to be quick before the stalls come back, otherwise, you know. Alright, Ashes is... I'd actually argue this is a little bit easier than the Light World equipment, because the walls don't collapse.
This level's nasty, both looks-wise and gameplay-wise.
Oh, this one, yeah, when I used to play this game on a green screen, this level would always muck up my green screen, but yeah, you need to really be careful with how the stalls move here. And, yeah, it's really tough. El Topo, again, one that's not too much more difficult than the original. But again, a lot of collapsing blocks, you need to avoid the stalls. And just jump on the conveyors just right to avoid the stalls on the side there. Too easy. Now we're up to Brownie, but we don't even have to defeat this boss, just gotta do a blind jump here. Thanks, got it done. So good. Good work.
Yep. So I do something called a sprint jump there, where you jump while holding sprint, but like when you jump, you release sprint and repress it, and that gets you just like that sticks you just close enough to the wall to avoid dying out of bounds.
All right, now we're on to Hell, which again has a very nice piece of OST here, and the dark levels for Hell are like insane, like it's crazy. But
there's a lot of crazy strats, so in this chapter, so keep your eyes peeled.
There is actually, I think the route's the same for Dark and Light. It's 1 and then 2 to 16, and then 19, is it? Or 2 to 17, or 3 to 17.
You can do. It's fastest to do 1 to 17 actually.
Yeah, so 1 to 17. a legendary Donkey Kong player. So there's a little bit of trivia there. You can see the portals here as well. Ooh, tough. Yeah, the portals here work very similarly to a very popular video game that is coincidentally called Portal. If you go into one portal, you come out of the other at the same momentum and speed. So a few of those can be exploited a bit later in this run, but mostly you should be mindful of how midpoint moves. Over here, I believe you're going to try and skip one. There you go. You're going to skip one by jumping out while you're jumping off the wall, which saves a bit of time. Ooh, misses the and the laser eyes here as well. Very tough to kind of avoid their path, but you can. There are ways you can actually kind of dodge them, but it's very tight. Looks like you're going to have to fall back and do the safe strat there, though. Yeah, these laser eyes, the timing to actually skip like parts of the level by kind of hiding behind something, incredibly precise. So even these little jumps here, you need to go insanely fast. There's not much room for error. The 415 has Abaddon, and these things fire out of these basically, I guess, Oblivion portals. When they hit something, they burst into, I believe, 5 different enemies. So not only do you have to avoid it when they're following you, but also they're blast after the fact. So that's probably one of the more annoying mechanics in the game. I believe one more in the light world, which is 419, the Hive. This is a really fun one.
Shout out to Crew Crux for that strat.
Did you do that on purpose?
Yup.
Wow, okay, show off.
Gotta go for slide. It is a marathon after all.
Of course, it just everyone. Jankmo is the best Super Meat Boy gamer. No debate about that. But now we are into Dark Hell, and this track is called Devil and Bass, which is also a good track, very rage-inducing. Same route here, so basically 1, 3 to 17, and then 19. And we just see how crazy things get here. A lot of elevators I find in Dark Hell.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, the jump in this one's really precise. You need to make the cycles just right, and if you don't, it's just kind of frustrating. And these saws move really quickly, so you don't have much time to move. 4-7 Thistle. Again, the saws here are just multiplied, and it's just, you need to make sure.
The cycles are bad here. I don't know about cycles, so. This is a really hard level for 8x.
I don't like 4-8 just non-stop, like full stop. I can't even get it down at any percent, but yeah.
That strat, though, is sick. That I just did.
Oh, nice. Good work. I was so quick I didn't even notice what it was, but good work there. Alright, a lot of silhouette levels here that I find. The silhouette levels just make it a little bit more difficult to figure out, like, the, I guess, intricacies of each level. But yeah, just everything's just goes crazy here in Hell.
Trollish portal there. Kind of just flung me right into the saw blade.
No, I just saw that right there. Ouch. That is tough. Yeah, so Jank's jumping off kind of the sides of the tiles here to kind of get to Banjo Scroll more quickly. Obviously not the intended way, but it's an actually pretty easy skip there. And again, oh wow, misses the laser too. You gotta stall, I think, and just go fast and stall at the right time to kind of manipulate how the laser rifle is here.
That is not the strat.
Let me see the. Sorry, my second.
This level kind of tests your abilities to catch keys. This level kind of yeah.
So it's kind of like if you were standing in a tennis court and you were in front of a machine that's on not meatballs. Why did I say meatballs? Tentacles, and you need to catch them all and going towards you. So yeah, this is like the 2D version of that. And so tough there. You need to be really careful
really
what walls you collect.
Dang.
The collapsed walls here are just really tough. You need to be careful what you touch and then what you go do thereafter. And this laser eye, again, just keeps following you. So a lot of things to balance in this level.
We're through though.
Good work. Old Scratch is basically the dark version. It's like the light version, but falls right down. Good work. Boneyard, I do not like this level at all. because you have to worry about them on both sides. I just cannot move myself correctly to avoid the splitting little monsters, but Jank's able to get it. Oh, can you fall straight down on this one?
You can. I tried. I gave it a couple tries. It's really hard. But you can just skip the entire level by falling through those.
I feel like there's a few strategies where if you don't get it the first or second or third times, you just gotta fall back to the safe strat.
That's kind of how I like to stick to things, especially marathons.
Yeah, it's a good thing to try. All right, so now we got one more. This one is basically the same, I think, as the other 419.
Except like the entire floor is destructible, and that's the thing fires a lot faster.
So you hide underneath a block to stop those monsters from launching out at you. The movement's a bit different here. So now we're up to the boss of hell, which is called Little Horn, and luckily there's a safe spot we can stand in for more than half the fight. And what I usually do is I just scroll through Twitter. Yeah, literally, I call it the social media boss because I usually, stretch my fingers, look at my phone, take a breather, make sure that my hands don't completely ache for the rest of the run. So you got to do, I think, 3 jumps in total.
Yep.
And everything else you can just stand still in that safe spot there.
Okay, so
This is a good time for a donation.
yep.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Bree 12 AM donates $20. It says, "We're making puns, are we? You must have expected this one. Jokes aside, you're doing great. Hopefully Larry is a 1 cycle." And that went towards Nice Hat Bro and the Messenger. And the bid war option for Nameless King, fight Osiris. I'm sorry, we're fighting Nameless King.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bree, for that. I'll keep working on puns through Rapture and beyond. I definitely did not expect that pun. Good work.
Are we sure we want to continue this run?
Are we I haven't actually heard that one before. That was a good one. Sure. Oh, good. I can't get out of that in my head now. Did you get the fast 5-1 cycle? It looks like you did. Nice work. Basically, what I meant there is that if you need to kind of start the beginning of 5-1 blind, because if you skip a cutscene, there's still a bit of like a white fade out. You got to do first start of blind, and 5-1 is like really precise to start to get like a fast strategy to save like 3 seconds. So Jank there did it. Good work. So this level is called Rise, and I'm sure that Jankmo will be rising to the challenge to complete the rest of this game without dying.
About that.
I'm sure you can.
I think you activated my panic switch with that pun.
Panic switch? I'm not trying to panic you. You need to. Speaking of switching, you need to switch your demeanor to something. Just
Can we just leave those puns behind?
Do we leave the puns behind? I don't know. I like puns. The key to a good speed run is to switch on pun mode and to keep telling puns.
All right.
I bet none of you saw that coming.
These puns are the biggest abomination I've ever seen. Yeah, speaking of abominations, these guys behave kind of like Meat Boy, but their behaviors are kind of random and erratic, so.
Definitely. You need to kind of round them up, and they will chase you and jump after you, and if they hit you, you explode and they explode, so they're kind of like, they're on a mission. It cost them their life, but they're just always going to follow you. Anyway, this one over here is pretty easy. You just gotta wait near that saw, so if they follow you, they just jump straight into the saw.
Oh my god, you're pulling a Fems on me. I'm mad. For context, that level is called Fem Skip. Or 511, that strat is called Fem Skip.
Yeah, normally most runners actually wait for the saw to retract before they go through, but there is a very narrow window of opportunity where you can actually jump through. But again, very precise. Now, 512 here, you need to be careful with how you jump there to jump over, but if you do, we can skip more than half the level, and I think it saves like 10 seconds. The lamb here, you gotta get your cycle just right, and I think auto jump's also enabled to skip having to wait a lot of the time. And oh no, I was able to save it.
Yeah, kind of a trollish slide there, honestly.
Yeah. Slides can be like, slides basically happen if you jump in the exact frame, you touch a wall. And it's advantages for some strategies, but unfortunately, usually it just throws you off your game a bit, and especially, so good reaction time can actually be a bit of a disadvantage in this game sometimes. But yeah, so instead of salt here, we have larvae, basically. Maggots, larvae, and you don't want to touch them, because you will die.
Everything kills you in this game. What doesn't kill you?
Bad puns. They make me stronger.
Speaking of bad puns, everyone in chat who's going to need to stay up all night watching this, because this stream does not stop until Sunday night. It's a continuous stream until Sunday night. For those of you that need something to stay up with, you can donate $30 and get a pack of coffee from 840 Riggs, who is donating the first 20 people a pack of coffee if you donate $30 or more towards that reward.
Thank you very much. I could use some coffee myself. Don't know if they deliver to Australia. I'll have to double check that. Now we are into the dark world of Rapture, and personally for me, this is just crazy. Like, it took me years to actually even get everything A+ in Dark World here.
For viewers watching at home, don't do this hole I'm about to do.
But they gotta do it to complete the Dark World, though. I mean, 100%.
True. Don't do this in Dark.
But yeah, it's pretty tough. Yeah. So this one over here, I think 5-3X is like my least favorite here, because these orbs that kind of they're like reverse magnet orbs, gravity orbs. They just move you so weirdly, and with these saws here, you gotta time your jumps just right. It's really tough.
I am surprised I didn't die there, honestly.
Oh wow, nice work, good work. Alabaster, you can jump through the magnet field there and not have to go all the way, worry about, I guess, backtracking. But again, you just need to be really careful. Oh, it gets the salt on top there. The way it pushes you around is just so unpredictable. And these like one block, I guess, passageways here, they give you like really little room to move around, so.
I tried to do like a weird strat there on that level, but I kind of messed it up. There's another one coming up in a later level.
Fair enough. What exactly happens here? Can you like clip up to get bandage girl early?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Downpour is a really cool like fixed cycle here, so if you get it right, you can kind of land on one of the edges there and finish the level in like 8 seconds. That's cool. All right, Pulp Factory. This one's a bit tough, I find. You gotta like round them all up and then kind of like get the keys while really doing these tight jumps to avoid all the abominations here. There are a lot of very tight jumps there. And considering these things basically home in on you and can jump after you, it's just a lot to take in. All right, 512 Canker. Canker?
That's a really... That strat is sick. You just like glide over everything.
Interesting, nice. Halo of Flies, this one's also, the platforms are a lot shorter, so you gotta be very careful with your movement here, it looks like.
This level actually, we actually skip a lot of this level.
Yeah, you can jump off the side here, it looks like, and,
Okay. I was kind of scared with that guy going off screen, because he can, like, come back on screen at, like, super fast speed and nail you.
Yeah, definitely. Here, this one, this basically, you need to be really quick. You don't have much time to move around, like, at all. 516, I think is another cool skip here. You can jump off the side to, I guess, get to the other end of this first half of the level, and then jump off this tiny little, like, half-block platform here to skip another, like, half the level. Millennium, the other fun one. But the missiles that are firing kind of in a variation between plus and cross shape.
Alright, important thing about this level, we're gonna count to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, it's really tough with timing on that last one, but guess what time it is? It is Larry time.
Yep. RNG.
So, RNG, or as Jake calls it, the worm lottery. So there's a way you can pause there to try and get Larry to do a 2 cycle. But basically, worms, Larry, basically follow you. They'll either jump after you or jump up and scream at you or go around the ground. And basically, it's RNG is depending on what they actually do. And that was a really good cycle, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. I'd say.
What was
especially for a marathon.
Cycle, I think? Yeah, so basically, you could have a perfect run leading up to Larry, and if Larry just doesn't want to jump into the saws, your run's dead. So it's unfortunate that that's the only real part of RNG in the level, but yeah. Now we're up to the last world, which is called the End. You do the dark bubbles on this one as well, don't you?
No, we've actually already done 85 dark bubbles if you were counting them.
Oh yeah, so I probably should have considered that. So the Dark Worlds levels at the end are like really tough and long, so I tend to just make them up by doing the ones in the earlier worlds. So Jank here will do all 5 levels of the End, and then switch to the boss, and then that unlocks the Dark Ending boss. Exit the cutscene early, and then do the Dark Ending boss, and then that will be time. But that probably won't be for another like 3 minutes, I think. So basically we need to do the final boss twice in a row, and the second version is a bit more difficult than the first one, so gotta basically be calm and collected heading into it and just make sure you hit those buttons right.
Bit of a tight cycle I'm going to try to go for here. Surprised that made it.
Oh, nice work. Yeah, the saw is here, it's just a lot of tight cycles you need to make, and that saw on the side there, that big kind of clock kind of saw, very precise jump. So you need to make sure you get your cycle just right there. The cycle time in some of these levels is absolutely insane. Amiga skip, we're going to go for keyless as well as the jump at the top there.
I have to back that up. Ooh, I almost died.
Ooh, that was close. Lucky you only have like 1 or 2 tiles to jump off to jump through those 2 saws. You need to fall off this little edge here, then auto jump. Gets it both times. Nice. A nice little save there as well. All right, now we're up to last boss, well, second last boss. This is Light Dr. Fetus.
Yep, so we have to beat White Dr. Fetus to unlock Dark Dr. Fetus.
So Dr. Fetus here will chase you through this little basically obstacle course and fire homing missiles at you. And the place where he fires the missile is still kind of dangerous to touch, like half a second afterwards. But it's a skip we can do where you can jump over the saws that are supposed to contain a section of the level and complete the rest of the boss pretty freely. And for those who are unfamiliar, you might think, well, won't the saws come and get you afterwards? Well, funnily enough, if you're touching a button, those saws won't kill you. Apparently buttons make you invincible. So just gotta wait here until Dr. Fetus walks over the basically big chasm there and falls to his inevitable doom. And I will say one thing, I was hoping that Larry would take a bit longer so I could do this. I put one of my Larry emotes in chat. But anyway, so now up to escape, and to do this like promptly is a few cycles we need to make sure that we get, especially leading up to the last, I guess, almost second last jump here. You need to wait for the rotating saw and fall straight down. There's only 1 tile to do. And instead of going back to the beginning, we jump off the side here, and that actually triggers the end cutscene. Because the area that triggers it clips outside of where you spawned. Press escape to get out of that, and then we're not going to do Cotton Alley because this is not all light levels or 106%. Go back to the end, and then switch to Dark World and do Dark Dr. Fetus.
The same thing, except more saws. More opportunities to die.
Yeah, the more moving saws as well, so it basically, you need to redo exactly how you think, you know. Sorry, let me rephrase that. You need to rethink exactly how you do it and kind of...
Uh-oh, that's pretty bad.
How'd you do?
Ooh. Okay, that was scary.
Boy, I just saw that. Wow. And Jess gets it there too. Yeah, the jumps there are harder because you got more saws in the way, and Jank is able to recover and jump off that side wall there before the saws make that wall not able to be jumped off of. So good work there. And once you do that, the rest of the level is basically an auto-scroller, especially when you're heading to this last section here. So time's going to come up really soon, and time will be when you see it go to the cutscene / credits.
Yep.
So it'll probably be in the next 1 minute or so.
Or like 30 seconds, depending on how long Dark Escape takes me.
Fetus falls to his demise. Alright. Ooh, yeah, tough cycle to get there, looks like.
Why is it not? This cycle is weird. It's not working. Okay, there it is.
We're just getting more deaths for charity, aren't we?
Exactly. Throwing for charity.
Oh no, jumps off the sidewall there. Oh, this one's really like, that saves like a second by doing that fast cycle, but it's a really tight jump there. So for me, when I was playing this game casually, this is like, that spinning saw is the hardest for me to avoid. But time's gonna come up real soon. I think Jank will help in soon. Oh! My broadcast is a bit behind.
Yeah, time is when
Fine.
I jump off the screen and activate the ending cutscene.
Congratulations, that was an awesome run, Jank, and it's just doing any percent for me is hard enough, but doing dark ending, you got to do twice the amount of levels that are at least twice as difficult. So balancing all that up with routing and getting your specific jumps there, Jank did a fantastic job, and it's one of the best in the biz for a reason. So thank you all for watching. I'll get you to go to your statistics and see how many times you died there, Jank.
Sure.
I will make a donation on your behalf, on behalf of the Super Meat Boy speedrunning community accordingly.
So there's a little prediction game that we like to play where we guess how many times runners die on like various streams. Does anybody want to take a jab at how many times I died?
Yeah, we'll leave it up for a little bit, see how many times. But speaking of Super Meat Boy community, if you're interested in speedrunning this game, we do have a Discord, so be sure to go to speedrun.com/SMB. Check out the leaderboard and Discord there. Great group of people, all there to support each other, and there's no shortage of people to give you pointers and give you advice on how to run the game. And in a strange way, it's a lot easier than it looks because there is such little RNG. You can definitely build up your progress and your skill in this game a lot easier than you think you would. So be sure to join a Discord as well. And also, a bit of a plug for Super Meat Boy Forever as well. There's also a speedrun community for that, if you want to check out the Discord as well. Part of the same franchise, I had to put that in there. What are people saying?
I plugged it in the last time I ran this on a marathon.
Yeah, so we got 43, 32, the nice number, 24, 52, 55. I'm going to say 54. What do you think, Jank?
I guess that sounds about right.
Okay.
Survey says 58.
58. Wow, that was very close. I think Bree got the closest. Bree was only 3
Bree
off,
wins.
So, Bree wins. Good. You win a round of applause. Everyone, applause for Bree.
So 58 deaths for charity.
Yes, 58, and I'll make a donation according to that very shortly afterwards. I think that's it, though. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you very much for having us on the marathon. Always an absolute blast to support these causes, so be sure to stay tuned for the rest of the event. See you all next time. And Jank, do you have any last words?
Pretty much you pretty much said what I was gonna say, so.
Yeah, too easy. Good afternoon, all, and enjoy the rest of the marathon.
Yeah, not a problem. Hold on, chat. We're going to be switching over to the next